Welcome back to What She Said. Happy Friday. Over here vibing. Okay, y'all. It's Friday night. It's game night. And we got some things to talk about. We'll give the chat time to arrive, settle in. Hey, I see somebody back there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Just vibing. All right. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. We're going to let the intro music play. We're going to count our cards. Game night. Carefully chosen. I've been waiting for this all day. I'm ready. How's everybody doing? Drop me an emoji in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. When you like your intro music. I hope y'all can hear it. Hey, Gracie. Welcome, 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 welcome. Just letting the intro music play while everybody settles in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. I should say happy Friday. All right, y'all. All right, all right, all right, all right. So we're back. So I have a great show planned. Not only is it game night, TGIF, it's a lot that happened, I would say, over the last 24 hours. And one of the things that I became aware of yesterday on Coach Prime's personal page, Deion Sanders. If you used to watch the show that his family had, Deion Family's Playbook, you might remember an episode of the show where I think the kids had a new school and Shedeur was kind of sad. They were kind of in the home gym. Shedeur was on the elliptical, but his face was long. He was sad. He was about to cry, right? And Coach Prime was like, "Hey, buddy, what's wrong?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know anybody at the new school. The new school. I don't know anybody." And Coach Prime did what a dad does. He stepped in, he consoled him. He didn't tell him just to brush it off. He say, let's try to work it out. He reassured him, I got you. Nobody's gonna mess with you. The things that we see from Shedeur now is what Coach Prime was instilling in him on camera back then. And it obviously resonated. And I think on the comments, I was like, oh, because I cherish too. Grown, great young man, minds his own business, stellar athlete, but also generous, loving, caring, family oriented. I mean, what's not to like, right? So to see that and to see Coach Prime tell him that's what a dad does, try to cheer him up, but not just cheer him up and make him forget about it, but then to cheer him up and to reassure him that I got you, nothing's going to happen to you. It's a new school. You'll meet people. It just takes time because he didn't know anybody. So he was sad. I was like, oh. So, I don't know if y'all saw that, but it leads into what I'm getting ready to say. So I saw a post and there was a lot of writing on the post. So I didn't grab it. And it talked about how Coach Prime found out the name of the QB coach that was dragging Shedeur unjustly. Something I don't think these reporters should be doing, whether it's clickbait or not. And we talked about this yesterday. We touched on this. And I think he was trying to figure out, well, he's not trying to figure out, excuse me. Let me choose better words. He was contemplating whether or not to make the name public, etc. Right? And I don't know how y'all feel about it. Meaning, if Coach Prime found out the QB coach that dragged Shedeur, drop in the comments your personal opinion. IMO, in my opinion, do you think he should reveal the name? It's kind of like the LeBron and Stephen A situation where LeBron approached Stephen A in a fatherly manner, like, hey, back off my son like that. I don't appreciate you talking about him like that. And it's obviously it's disrespectful. And then, now we have Shedeur, and it's coming from kind of like, within the house where ESPN is, but also too, it was said that a QB coach, and I kind of figured out who it was a while ago. So let me know if you think Coach Prime should release the name of the person by discussing the situation, saying that he found out who it was, addressing the person, yada, yada, yada. Let me know your honest opinion. So here's the thing, right? We have adults who fancy themselves on character assassinations of young athletic talent, right? Bronny James, Shedeur Sanders, just to name two, right? And what I find disturbing, and I'm seeing a trend that they're starting is, oh, we're going to pick you apart. Now, they're not doing this to anybody else. It just seems to be Black kids. And yes, I know Stephen A is African-American. I'm fully aware, but Black people understand that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We get that. And, Stephen A teeter-totters on the poetic license of, hey, you know what? This is my job. And we talked about it. It is not your job to assassinate anyone's character. And in the case of Bronny James, Stephen A came back today and said, I owe Bronny James an apology. Now, we already said they're going to owe Shedeur an apology. But here's the thing. If you have to apologize all of the time for tearing somebody down, that means you didn't learn your lesson and you need to just be quiet, right? So that's the trend. They want to tear you down mercilessly, and come to you like the reporter did from NFL to Shedeur at Big 12 and try to explain, well, we got to kind of make a headline. We don't mean nothing by it. Bro, get out of here with that. If you don't mean nothing by it and it's cool, why don't I see you doing it to any of these white quarterbacks that are coming up in the draft? Why you don't do it to Jackson Dart? I don't hear you tear down Jackson Dart. Why you not doing it to the 52nd and the 56th player in the NBA draft? Why only Bronny? You never was concerned about number 55, the 55th pick any other time. You didn't talk about, was he better than the people that he was placed ahead of? I mean, honestly, with it being LeBron's son, let's just be honest. If he had never had that cardiac event, he probably would have went 1 through 30 or something like that, because I don't know their rounds. But LeBron, understanding that his son is talented, understanding that he had a cardiac event, was like, you know what? I'm cool with number 55 because he needs time. And he didn't just need time for his basketball skills. And Stephen A, I know he had the audacity to say, I didn't watch him play in high school. I didn't watch him play in the G League. So what are you tearing him down for? On the strength of that his last name is LeBron James and he should be better, given the fact that he had a cardiac event? And that, honestly, is what is probably one of the reasons his confidence wasn't as high as it was, because it takes time. When you come back from a cardiac event as an older person, when they go to do the things they used to do before, they're scared. They think it's going to happen again. And Bronny had to undergo some type of procedure for that, to correct it. And I'm sure in the back of his mind, it's traumatic and he's getting over it. So 55 was the perfect place for him to be drafted because the expectations wouldn't be too high. But because his last name was LeBron James, they just totally overlooked the cardiac event. And now Stephen A wants to apologize. That ain't good enough, brother. because you're not doing this to nobody else. You're not doing this to anybody that's white. So they sent you to tear down the black man, and we're supposed to be okay with that. We're not okay with it. I don't care if you're black or white. We're not okay with it. And then Shedeur, the man that's talking to him at the Big 12, was also black, working for the NFL Network, trying to mansplain why it is that Shedeur should be okay with them dragging him, but not dragging anybody else. Why are you dragging Shedeur? I want to see you do this to a white quarterback. I want to see you do this to Jackson Dart and watch all hell break loose. You're not going to do it. And that's the problem. They send you to tear down somebody that looks like you and think we're going to be okay because we all have a lot of melanin. No, we're not okay with it. That's bullying. And it sets a bad example. And I know Disney is somehow a parent owner or a partner of ESPN, and it's just an awful look that these young tweens and teens that watch ESPN because they play sports and they're trying to learn and probably get some commentary. Or if you grew up in my house like mine, the sports was just on. Just like the weather and the sports were two things, weather, sports, and news were the three things on consistently all day. And this is the last thing that they should be hearing. And it's not cute and performative to go, you know what, we're going to go ahead and put this story out here for Shedeur about clickbait. You know, it's disparaging him, but we're going to come back and apologize. That's an empty apology. It's an empty apology because you claim you don't mean what you say. Then if you don't mean what you say, let me see you tear down Jackson Dart. He got some negative qualities. I want to see you do it. I want to see you tear down and I'll point out any negative quality that Arch Manning has because he ain't perfect. I want to see you do it. You ain't going to do it. And it's not okay to send Stephen A. to tear down these young black athletes coming up because we know if white people do it, it's going to be a problem. Y'all grown. Y'all need to do better. This is not WWE wrestling for entertainment. These are people's lives. It has an effect, and y'all choosing young people under the age of 25. And we already talked about that frontal lobe. And LeBron already done walked up on Stephen A. Coach Prime is contemplating putting this information out here. Y'all see what happened to the CEO of United Healthcare. Y'all need to stop playing with people like that. That might be clickbait to you, but that could be emotionally disruptive for somebody else. And parents who love their kids don't play about their kids. So carry on at your own risk. Gracie said, in my opinion, let's see. In my opinion, let's see how to move the logo. Hold on. My first thought is call the individual and publicly, just like he publicly published his opinion, but realistically, the right to handle it would be face to face and private. I agree. I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's what I think. I don't have any problem with LeBron James walking up to Stephen A. and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to lay off my son," and telling him, "Go do this to somebody else and let's see how it go for you." You don't get to pick on my son because we're billionaires or because I'm the GOAT or because I'm famous and people have the same expectation for him. You knew he had a cardiac event. You don't get to pick on my son for clickbait and to make people come watch you. And you're like, oh, I'm going to apologize to Bronny James. No. That means you don't care how this is affecting this young man. He's already struggling with a life or death event. Going 55 was actually the right thing to do. If you're not going to focus on the 54th and 53rd draft pick every year, then lay off of Bronny James. The people that were hating on Bronny James hated the fact that LeBron James, a black man, had the power and the influence to do something that non-black people do all the time. It's called nepotism. Every team in the NFL is owned by a family. I don't think anyone is owned by a corporation. Who do you think works there? And I'm talking about high up. And then let's go into those front offices. Who do you think works there? Same thing with the NBA. These are family-owned, individual-owned businesses. Corporations do not own these businesses. You think for 5 seconds, if I have a daughter in law school, when she finished, she's not going to be involved in the family business? They were just upset that LeBron has power. They knew he did, but now they got a chance to see it. And because he's a black man, that's not what we intended. We intended for you to play. We didn't want to enrich your family. The hell you say? What works for you works for us. If you want to call it nepotism, okay. Stephen A actually has his own nephew on his own show called the Stephen A Show. So Gracie, yeah, I agree with you. I think, face to face is the way to handle it. I think Coach Prime should talk about it. I think on an interview somewhere, he should let it be known that they found out who it was. It wasn't hard. That it was so-and-so coach. And, he was trying to bully Shedeur and trying to negatively influence his draft stock, believing that he's the almighty and he has that kind of power. I will put it out there. It said he would lose his job if he called out the other ones. Coach Prime, you know what? If Coach Prime lose his job at Colorado for speaking truth about the person that defamed his son, the things that they have been saying about Shedeur are insane. And they're not doing this to anybody else. And they wouldn't dare do it to Jackson Dart. I'm using Jackson Dart's name because why? Because they keep trying to move him up from the second round to the first. I want to see them move him above Jalen Milroe with that 4.37, that 4.45. I want to see it. And congratulations, Jameis Winston just signed a 2-year contract with the New York Giants. So Jameis is back in the league. I don't know if QB1 or QB2. He's been with the Giants before. I'm thinking QB2 again. I feel like the Giants have their long-term sights set on Arch Manning. Now, I want you to notice the difference when they talk about Arch Manning. It's not going to be negative because they are concerned about the consequences that run deep. And it's also disrespectful to Coach Prime because you're talking about his son, just like it was disrespectful to LeBron. And what did LeBron's peers, Dwayne Wade and somebody else, Carmelo Anthony, I think, you know what they said after LeBron approached Stephen A? It's about time. So I have no problem with Coach Prime trying to call a meeting with this person and talking about it privately. And also, too, making it known that you reached out to have a meeting with this person to give them an opportunity to talk about what it is that they have to say. And then to also let them know under no certain terms are you to use my son and defame him and try to negatively affect his draft stock because you have some personal bias. I sure would. I have no problem with talking to anybody's superior or mama when it comes to bullying, because that's what that is. I want you to know that's what that is. What do bullies do? They try to intimidate you by negatively affecting you or something you have. That's the same thing. And we're not okay with it. So for the people who thought, well, we'll let Stephen A disparage Bronny and we'll let it come from so anonymous source about Shedeur. No, it's not going down like that. Y'all need to stop now. Y'all already saw what happened in New York. We live in a time where people are on edge. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to watch the words that you use to try to disparage someone who is in their 20s and you probably in your 50s or 60s. You've been warned. So it said, happy Friday. Hey, 22. Hey, 22. So, these people need to chill out. Like I said, these are young people. And I think not expecting them to have anything to say back is foolish. I'm proud of LeBron for stepping up. I'm proud for Coach Prime, even, if he put it out there that he knew who it was and he's thinking about how he wants to approach it. I'm proud of that too. And I know he put that segment from Deion's Family Playbook on his page so that people could see He don't play about his kids at all. And we all know that. It's hella disrespectful to both Shedeur and Coach Prime. Understand that. So, that's where we are. All right. So I'm getting ready to play the intro song. We get ready to transition into some stories that I put together. Then we're going to play our first game. Make sure you hit the like button for me.
Yeah, welcome fam, it's Survive. Break it down, talking sports, hard hustle. Where the crowd, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button. Come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we both reaching higher and higher.
All right. So as you can see here, I actually have a video of some NFL players that recently got engaged and are married. All right. So yesterday when we were on this podcast, supporter of what she said, shared with everyone that, let me move this over here, that Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Watson and his fiance, or his girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend, got engaged. And I for one was happy about it. So I was like, wait a minute. I think Jalen Hurts got married. And I was like, okay, I know we talk about Jalen Hurts all the time too. And then DK Metcalf and his fiance Normani got engaged. So this was my way of saying congratulations to the newly engaged or the newlyweds. So these are just some of the faves that, I know I have as a sports fan. Deshaun and his fiance, Jilly. All of these rings are probably bigger than the iris of my eye. Not surprises, though. But I told y'all yesterday when we were talking about Jilly and her fiance, Deshaun Watson, I told y'all, see, this is the picture right here. I told y'all they look like they almost not the same person, but their vibe is so, sometimes people are like a yin and yang, and these two, I feel like they're like equally yoked. That's Jalen Hurts, that's DK, and Normani, that was DK proposing, and they had a beautiful, that's them right there. So they look so cute together, and they all color coordinated. They always look like that. So, personally, it's gonna lead us into the first, I guess you could say, like the first clue. All right, so I'm gonna hold up some letters and then I'll type them in the chat. And this is the puzzle we're trying to solve. IWLTSI. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and type it into the chat. And let's see here. IWLTSI. All right. And the clue is, this is what you say, essentially. Okay, we were talking about Coach Prime, right? And we were essentially saying that he should talk to, he should tell us who basically was trying to defame his son and negate his draft stock. He doesn't need to keep it anonymous. That LeBron approached Stephen A. Coach Prime, is contemplating about this person. So this is a clue. This is what you say when somebody says, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. And you like, oh, okay, yeah. This is what you say. You like, this is it. This is what you say. When somebody says that something is going to happen that you either look forward to, or you're excited, or you were surprised that it could occur, you're like, okay, so that's what it is. So I'm going to type it in there. How you doing, Bumpy? Hey, Crowley, welcome. Welcome. It is the first day of spring. Awesome. I thought they said yesterday, but I had a feeling it was today. It's supposed to be down in the 40s, the mid 40s tonight. All right. So I'm typing the clue into, not the clue, but the letters that we're trying to solve. I'm typing it into the chat. One of the clues, this is like a daily saying. This is something you would hear somebody say when a person is saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And another person, instead of saying, oh, that's unbelievable, that's remarkable, what? You don't say something like that where you're shocked or you're surprised. This is what you would say. So this is my response to hearing that Coach Prime is contemplating releasing the name of the person, which, and possibly should call a meeting to talk to this person and then go on like a talk show and talk about the person, how it, disparaging it was, and as a father, how protective he is of, his children. So this will be my response. All right. So let me see if y'all can figure it out. And we're going to move on to the next story. All right. So if you didn't have a chance, I'll play it again. These are the newly engaged or the newly married couples, Jalen Hurts and his now wife, Bree. So her name is Bree. They met at Alabama, University of Alabama. And then there's Jilly and Deshaun. I'm assuming they met because Jilly's from Houston, and Deshaun played for the Texans. They've been together all that time. I'm happy to see them, still together. And I think they're a great couple. I've been following them. Like they go to this very swanky Halloween party all the time and they go all out. Like I think LeBron James' wife did it one time. It's like where Jilly painted herself like blue to be like the avatar from the blue person from Avatar or something like that. So they do that like every Halloween. It's a big event that they go to. They're always traveling. To me, they just, they look like they could be each other's rock. That's what I like about it. And then they seem to have made it through the fire, and that's what long-lasting relationships are built on. So I'm happy for them. And y'all see, Jalen Hurts got married after the Super Bowl. Now remember, he went to the Super Bowl before, but he didn't get married. They lost, and I heard him say that changed him. And then after this Super Bowl, that was just February 9th. Today is March 21st, a little over a month. Tied the knot with his college girlfriend. Fellas, you do not have to get married. If this young lady is truly for you, she will allow you to accomplish your goals for your career. Okay? If it's something that's achievable, because that's what you want to focus on. Get yourself out the way first. Everything that you want to do first. So I applaud Jalen. And the young lady, she truly loves him. She's going to be there. If you feel like you got to put a ring on it because they're going to run off, okay, they're going to run off with your ring. Understand that. And your money and your house. So shout out to Jalen Hurts and the missus, Bree. So I'm happy for them. And then, of course, y'all know we already talked about DK Metcalf and Armani. They had a beautiful proposal. That's them right there. So pretty. Of course, he told her to hold that rock up. She got on the rock and Jilly got on the rock. And I'm like, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jilly going to have her foot on their necks. Because if you know anything about her, she is, how should I say this? She's a modern, young Martha Stewart. That's just the best I could say it. Except for, instead of maybe like the home design stuff, she does maybe more like fitness. So there's the fitness component. She has like a cooking show. She does like a day in the life. Excellent style. And you can see it in a picture with her and Deshaun Watson. And I'm like, I know she picked this out. So that's Normani and that's Jilly. This picture right here. Look how nice they look together. Like just beautiful. Just beautiful. So, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, so did anybody guess? Yes, that is it, Gracie. Yay! I would love to see it. So this is my response. I'm gonna hold it up again. Gracie guessed it. So when I read that Coach Prime is thinking of releasing the name of the person, and then I say that Coach Prime should try to set up a meeting with the person, like Gracie say, try to talk in private, but don't stop there. After you talk in private, if they show up or don't show up, you go on a talk show and you talk about the negative impact, the consequences to defaming and disparaging somebody and trying to use your power to hold this person back or put them in their place or humble them. You are not Jesus, okay? Let's get that clear. And for a man like Coach Prime who walks that walk, and then you to do this to his son, like, he's not afraid to talk about it. And I think he should. And if Colorado got a problem with it, then maybe, Colorado has to reevaluate some things, because it's not right for a grown person, where this young man is getting ready to join the NFL, to try to use their power to tear someone else down. That is an abuse of power. That's exactly what that is. And it's not cool and it's not okay. And he would never do it to Arch Manning. So you can't do it to Shedeur Sanders. You can't say, oh, I'm not doing it to Arch Manning or Jackson Dart, because they're different. They're not different. They're all quarterbacks. So that it should be fair game for everybody. And if you think it's okay to do this to Shedeur because you think that it's something about Shedeur that somehow makes him on a different level or less than, I got news for you. You're going to be more than apologizing. You're going to be out of a job. As last I checked, Coach Prime still has, people still have a lot of respect for Coach Prime in the NFL. So, these people that are trying to be bold and anonymous and with their biases, just know y'all not God. God gonna have the last word. Understand it. So yes, I would love to see it. That is exactly it. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Good evening, fam. Coach Prime would not lose his job. With what he has done for CU and the city of Boulder, everyone knows he loves his kids and all his kids. No, I totally agree. And he does too much, Coach Prime does way too much to be there for people. And like you said, Jackie, for what he's done to Boulder. Like, if you that's you trying to basically tell him he can't speak up for his son. And I want y'all to understand something. Ultimately, they don't want us to speak up for each other. Understand that. That's really the crux right there. They don't want us to speak up for each other. And they intentionally will get somebody like Stephen A to try to get him to do it, but you notice he'll never do it to somebody like Arch Manning or Jackson Dart or anybody else that's white. Let me know when he does it. So we're not here for it. We're not here for it. So thank you for that, Jackie. But yes, that is it. I would love to see it. Thank you, Peter. Welcome back. So yeah, all right. So we can move on to I put it on the screen. So this is what we were solving. Gracie, guess that I appreciate you. And we're going to move on to our next story. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like that, because that's bullying. I want y'all to know that that's all it is. And to say you're anonymous, like, why be anonymous? If you can stand by what you're saying, say it with your chest out. But you're being anonymous, which is the equivalent of throwing rocks at somebody and then running. That's cowardly. And Coach Prime should call it out. That's his son, Why would you expect that man not to stand up for his son? I don't know how some people think. 19 of us. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, so I am going to move on to our next story. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have heard, but there are 3 universities that have come forward that have proposed to play Colorado in the spring game. Now, it started with Syracuse, and I think some people still wanted to actually be Syracuse, right? And then it moved on to Prairie View A&M University, HBCU. We talked about this yesterday, my alma mater. Threw their name in the hat, right? They were like, hey, Coach Prime, I ain't hard to find. That was their coach. I think his name was Tremaine Jackson. So he said, hey, look me up. I'm out here. We would love to be able to play, to scrimmage, in the spring game against Colorado, right? And then today it was shared that, let me see if I can find it. A school that is actually in the Big 12. That's not BYU. At least I think, yeah, they're in the Big 12. We played them last year, and it was during a game where there were tortillas thrown on the field. Right here. So Coach Prime, hold on a second. Coach Prime, essentially, hold on one second. See if I can move this logo. I keep having to move it. But Coach Prime essentially, had to speak up for the team. And at Texas Tech, remember the referee was the one that came and said, I'm not calling something because, it was your players throwing kisses on the, actually it was Taj Brooks. This is their coach. And their coach is basically telling Coach Prime, why don't we, it says right here, at Deion Sanders, this is from Joey McGuire. Now remember, they already knew each other from high school days. So Coach Prime had an excellent rapport with Coach McGuire. I remember at Texas Tech. It says, at Deion Sanders, let's work on a waiver for spring practices together and do it in Dallas at the Star. We are in. You see that? That's Texas Tech. Now, y'all know we played Texas Tech. They threw them freaking tortillas on the field, and that goes all the way back to the 80s because a reporter from a big box network at the time said that there's nothing in Lubbock but a tortilla factory. So they thought it was a bright idea to take tortillas, which is trash, and trash in terms of you can't eat that because it's on the ground. I love tortillas. So I just want to make sure. But they made sure to take tortillas and throw them on the field. And I'm like, why you just could be like Nebraska and get you some balloons? You throwing rubbish, garbage, basura on the field where players are going to play. That to me is just hella disrespectful. And people said that's how Jimmy Horn Jr. got hurt. Slipped running, picked up on a tortilla. And they actually have all of these people around the field that are supposed to go out and pick up the scraps of tortillas. Like, come on, find another tradition. That's just savagery. That's barbaric. Why would you throw food onto a playing surface? So anyway, this is Coach Joey McGuire from Texas Tech. And he said he's in. I think this is going to happen. I don't know who it's going to happen with. Okay, drop in the chat. There's 3 schools right now. Oh, what if we get an SEC school? Nah, they probably too chicken. All right, so if you prefer it to be Syracuse, drop Syracuse, so a bunch of oranges in the chat. If you prefer it to be Prairie View A&M, drop a bunch of purple and yellow hearts into the chat. And if you prefer for Colorado to compete in the spring game against Texas Tech, you could just throw Tech in the chat. Just take up the chat. Just put TT or Texas Tech. So let me know, what y'all really think here. I like this idea. I think it's going to happen. It's 3 schools so far. Y'all think we might get an SEC school to throw they head into the mix? If so, what SEC school would y'all want us to come? I know with me, I want to play Alabama. I just want to play Alabama because it's right here. Is there like an SEC school y'all would want to play? Would y'all want to do like a spring game against Oregon? Who's your dream competition on a collegiate level for Colorado to play a competitive game against for the spring game on April 19th? Let me know. Now, I'm not against this idea here with Texas Tech playing at the Star. However, I want it to be Syracuse because I keep saying Syracuse and Colorado are like here when it comes to the football programs and probably the academics too. I just don't know what they offer because I graduated twice. So I would love to see it. That's my response to that as well too. I would love to see it. Whether it's Texas Tech, I just want a competitive match. I hope that all of this excitement doesn't die down and we end up with an inter-game squad But I think it's going to happen. I just don't know who. And let me know y'all's opinions when y'all have time in the chat. Thank y'all so much. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm looking at the comments. Okay. All right. Let's see. So thank you, Gracie. I would love to see it. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome back. Welcome back. It said facts. Stephen A. only speaks on black men's shortcomings. Right. Like, bro, no. We don't know what you got going on, but you letting the devil use your life for toilet paper. Like, that is not a smart decision because, at the end of the day, you have a conscience, and no amount of money, and he wasn't even at that level where he is now. So it's not like you could say it's the money. I think it's the power that he's drunk with, and he doesn't mind alienating or disparaging people that look like him, knowing that that's why they picked him to do it, so they don't catch the heat for it. If they didn't think they were going to catch heat, they would do it themselves. But you volunteer? Like, what does that say about you? So thank you for that, Johnny King. It said they threw a full bottle of water at Shiloh. Yep. And he threw it back. I saw that. Yeah, a lot of, a few players on some of those teams were trying to take cheap shots at Shiloh. Somebody tripped him when he was running onto the sideline, which could have been bad. So yeah, some of those players, and that ball boy, that incident at Texas Tech with the ball boy, they're gonna have to leave him at home. Hopefully he went on and graduated somewhere or found him another university. Because do y'all remember the incident when Shiloh made that touchdown with a ball, I think popped out of somebody from the Texas Tech side, and nobody else knew what to do, and Shiloh's experience made him pick up the ball and run into the end zone, and he got 6. And then Shiloh was walking like with Shedeur, and then Bucky was coming on the side, and the ball boy actually tried to knock the ball out of out of Shiloh's hand. And Bucky, I saw the look on his face, and I typed in the comments, if you nuck, he's gonna buck. So just know, these people said, stop playing. Stop playing with these Sanders boys. I'm telling you, stop playing. Stop playing. So hopefully, if it's Texas Tech and Dallas at the Star, and I don't know what he meant by a waiver. Does anybody know what Coach McGuire meant when he said, let's get a waiver? Let's work on a waiver for the spring game. What does that mean? If anybody have any information, let me know. It said, I saw that. 2 black coaches. Oh, you're talking about Syracuse. Okay. I think that is why some people do like the game for Syracuse, because you do get to see 2 black coaches, and that's not bad to want to see that, especially at this level. So, I agree with you on that. 22 says Syracuse, not Texas Tech, because they may try to injure the players. Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's cool. That's cool. I like the idea of it at the start and not having to go back to Lubbock. I did like that. Thank you, 22, and welcome back. Cause 2 brothers coaches. That's why Johnny say he wants to see Q's, because two black coaches. Okay, I like it. Oh, Gracie said go Dogs. Gracie, we're gonna have to talk about your Georgia Bulldogs now. All these stories coming out, these suspensions, and the latest was the accident. We're gonna have to talk about that probably on a different podcast. But I read it today, and people said it's starting to feel like a little epidemic around there, with players getting into some serious situations, DUIs, etc. So we're gonna need you for some insight on what's going on at Georgia. Thank you. So Colorado versus Georgia. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. The Orange School and 2 black coaches. Okay, Crowley. Everybody wants it to be Syracuse for the obvious reasons. It said, hello, Chad. Hey, Queen T. And what she said, Stephen A. gets paid to do that because they can't say what Stephen A. does. Because that's what we were saying. Thank you, Queen T. Thank you. That's what we were speaking on. Bucky was not playing. That's why I say, if you nuck, he's gonna buck. Understand? He does not play about his brothers. In fact, he just dropped a song, and I heard a snippet of it. And in the song, that's what he was essentially saying. He don't play about his brothers. He said his sister either. So that's a message. That's a message. That is definitely a message. Hey, Sharitha, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, y'all. So it's 14 of us in here. Please hit the like button. Give 14 likes. Gracie said the waiver allows him to do something that's normally not done. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that, Gracie. Okay, so when Coach Joey McGuire told Coach Prime, let's get a waiver and play the game. Let me see if I can uncover it. It says, let's work on a waiver for the spring practice together. And so they want to work on it together. Not one of them go do it. They're going to work on it together, the spring practice together, and play the game in Dallas at the Star. And I know Jerry Jones like, okay, another reason the Dallas Cowboys are interested in winning. Just another reason and a gentle reminder. And somebody better let Michael Parsons know that's what it is. That Dallas, that's why they don't worry about it. World-class facility, hotel. It's a petty zoo. All right. I like it. I like it. Okay. So thank you. Gracie told us what the waiver was. I'll go ahead and share it because that was new to me. I didn't know what it was. So thank you, Gracie. And D. Johnson said Syracuse for sure. Okay. Queen T saw that against Texas Tech, the ball boy. I was like, that guy should be glad it was Bucky because Shiloh got them hands. And if you don't want, yeah. But you know what I noticed about Shiloh? I don't know what it was, but it's like he knew what he did, like took the ball, like, like get away from me. That was enough. And he just kept it moving. And I don't know if his awareness was like my big brother right there, or that's who Shiloh is. But I commend him for that. Because most people, reflexes alone, would have made them feel like they were being attacked or something, and they felt the need to respond. So kudos to Shiloh for having that type of awareness and self-control. And just gentle reminder, if you nuck, he's going to buck. That's why they call him that. I'm pretty sure that's why. If not, it might be close. It might be close. So it said, I love my dogs, but I'm a realist when it comes to them. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So now they got another player suspended because he ran his Dodge Challenger into somebody's house. It was an apartment, but it's still a housing structure. Regardless if it was an apartment, condo, don't matter. People could have been in there and been hurt. And I'm not saying they weren't, but that likely might have been the living room. So hopefully nobody was in there. So he's suspended indefinitely. And it was posted on Threads. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, if he wasn't having a medical event, that's the right call. And I don't know if some people had an issue with it, because I don't know, maybe he was one of those star players that they have. But no, that's no good. And they say this kind of keeps happening over there. So I don't know what's going on. They're going to have to get them in check. Syracuse did put out today that they have a policy or some type of program where their players who receive NIL have to save 40% of it. Now, remember, April 7th, coming up quickly, is when the final verdict will be given by the judge, if it hasn't already, for that shared revenue to be used for NIL. So, for instance, if Colorado has 14 or 15 sports programs, whether they're revenue generating or not. So, like, I don't know if cross country is revenue generating, but let's just use them. So, let's say football makes the most of the money, right? Then there's basketball. Then it's men. So it's football, men's basketball, women's basketball. That's where the money comes. And then, they have skiing, women's ski, men's ski, and it could be profitable. I don't know. But let's just say track, let's say if cross country track, not regular track and field, but regular cross country track is not a revenue generating sport. They still get to share in the $22 million to be split 15 ways. However, it is already known that the football team will get the bulk of that money because obvious reasons, they make the bulk of the money, right? That was important when I read the case. And then the basketball teams get the share, the second highest share, then the women's basketball, and then it just goes, on. So like when you have the golf team, I don't know if they generate revenue or not. Golf can be expensive. The Masters, they say they generated $70 million just off of merch alone. So at the pro level, they generate a lot of money. But on the college level, I don't know. So they just get to share the money, but they don't get as much. So that's April 7th. And everybody's going to get a check now, and it's going to come directly from the university. So let's say Colorado's NIL, $22 million. Let's just say they get 10 of it. Okay. It's probably fair, right? So let's just say they get 10 of it, and or maybe they get 15. You know, let's just say they get 15. Somebody might have a fit, but let's say they get 15. Players are going to get like a check, not a stipend, but they're going to get NIL in-house from Colorado. Colorado set up an NIL department. Now, there used to be a foundation, the 50 something club, but that went away. They had to take down the website, and they had to disassociate from the school. So then they named an in-house NIL director, and they hired somebody who used to work for that club. It wasn't the person that ran it. It was like another person that worked there, like for operations or something. This particular person that I'm talking about was interviewed over a year ago when they talked about that buff thing, the 50-40 or whatever it was. He had an interview on Uncle Neely's show. So he's been around for a minute. He, from what my understanding, is the NIL director for football. So that made me question, is there going to be an NIL director for soccer? An NIL director for everybody else? And football has their own. So there's some things to work out, but the students will get paid. And it seems that Syracuse is already planning for the April 7th verdict. And they are insisting or suggesting, I can't figure out which one it is, but it seems like it's mandatory that you have to save 40% of the NIL money that you get from the school. Now, then there's different NIL, like Gatorade, Adidas. See, that's different. They can't tell you what to do with that because that's outside of the school. What they're talking about is the revenue sharing portion of the NIL that comes from within the university. So just wanted to put that out there just in case y'all see it. Hey, Kiel, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Queen T, hey, what she said, isn't Travis' wedding about to come up in May after rookie minicamp? I believe so. Whenever rookie minicamp is, like right after that. Yes, ma'am, it is. It is. I think it's in May. Because I remember when he was talking to Shedeur, he said the date. And Shedeur said, oh, y'all already set a date. And he said, yeah. So I think it was May. That's what I recall. And speaking of Travis, I did see the fishing video where Coach Pryor wasn't at home. And I don't know when this took place. I know we know Travis was working out in Texas. So I don't know if his truck was there. So he could have had his truck transported. He could have drove from Colorado to Texas. I don't know how long that is. But he was fishing at Coach Prime's pond while Coach Prime wasn't there. And, you know, everybody was like in the comments, what was he doing there without Coach Prime? And somebody said, well, Coach Prime told him he can go anytime. So he was over there fishing with Brendan, who I think is his like, not kind of like camera guy a little bit. But I think he might do the filming and editing and things of that nature. So Brendan is the young white guy that you always see around Travis. So they were fishing at Coach Prime's house. And, you know, it was cute. It was nice to see him. And while the fishing video was on, Adidas ads came on. I think Tom Brady was in it or some kind of ad. But it had Tom Brady, Travis, I think the young man that they called the route God, G-O-D, the one that y'all, G-A-W-D, the one that y'all saw yesterday at the Big 12 that had like the red braids with the little diamonds on the ends. He, I think, was in the commercial too. I think. I don't know. So it was a cute commercial. It came on a couple of times during Travis's segment. I don't know how on earth they worked that out, but it has something to do with media traffic. So, somebody commented, so Travis's own ads come on his show. I was like, hey, you can't be mad. You can't be mad. So go check it out. It's on the Travis Hunter page. You know, it's just cute. They just out there fishing. So yes, his wedding is coming up after rookie minicamp. It says Jackie Chu says Shiloh knew and Bucky came in before Shedeur could get to the ball boy. Yeah, I saw that. And was going to handle it, but to keep his brothers out of trouble, Coach Prime says Bucky is the glue for the siblings. Oh, facts. Oh, yeah, he is. And you know what's interesting? I got another video too. He keeps up with everybody. He really does. He keeps up with Travis. He talked about it. Jimmy and LeJontay. LeJontay told him thanks for everything. This is before they went to the Big 12. But so yeah, Bucky is the glue. But I have a video. Okay, yesterday I touched on this, but I didn't have the video at the time. So I have a snippet of video from the Big 12 where I told y'all Coach Prime was actually, I guess you could say, lambasting, teasing, kind of just kidding around with LeJontay, right? So I'm not gonna tell y'all. I told y'all yesterday, so I'm gonna just play it. It was funny to me because here we go.
That's all. So, I want LeJontay. I don't want you. I want him.
I've been killing there since he started it.
He all booed up all the time. Ever since I ain't going no. What? That's all. I want LeJontay. I don't want you. I want him.
I've been killing there since he started it.
He all booed up all the time. Ever since.
All right, so that's it. So yesterday I told y'all Coach Prime was teasing LeJontay about he always booed up, right? So here's what was happening, right? Let me see if I can turn the volume down, and that way hold on a second. All right, so here's what was happening. Coach Prime was gonna line up against Jimmy. He said, I always line up against you. I want to line up against LeJontay because every time I see him, he booed up. So let me line up against him while he's here. And LeJontay was like, oh, man, come on. So either Coach Prime put them out there on Fresh Street. That's what it was. So I don't know if y'all know, but there's a short on What She Said page. I actually posted his boo, his girlfriend. She's very creative, on a short. She had these denim jeans like with LeJontay on them. They were so cute. So go watch the shorts for What She Said. It's LeJontay in the short, but she's also in it. So the young lady that you see is the boo that Coach Prime is talking about. And during the season, I told y'all, I said, there are other guys that have girlfriends that, you don't see these guys hanging out partying, but these women, they're not necessarily playing house or handling their checking accounts and doing all of these things that we talked about, where Travis is concerned. LeJontay was one of them. I just wasn't going to put him out there. But since Coach Prime put it out there, LeJontay was another one. There's a couple of guys that had, a lot of guys had girlfriends. It's just that they also had boundaries. But I just didn't say it at the time. But there is a short out there that I posted probably about a month ago. And it's really cute. It's LeJontay working out. And then there is a clip of her. I think her name is Janae. I think she might do his videos and stuff. I'm not 100% certain, but she is a content creator as well. So go check out the short. I show everybody love. It don't matter. Well, not everybody. Not everybody. Most people. So if they deserve it, yeah, I will do it. Welcome. It is 20 of us. Thank y'all. Please make sure there are 20 likes. Peter said, oh, he saw the video. Okay, he saw the episode with Travis Fishing. He said it was good. Peter said he's waiting on the new Heisman House commercial. Oh, that's gonna be good with Travis, huh? Who else is it? Is it the other guys that were previous Heismans, or would it be the Heisman House? Yes, that's what it is. If you were a previous Heisman, you're a part of the Heisman commercial, right? I like that. I'm looking forward to that too. They say that boy is booed up. Yes, he is. He comes from a strong family as well too. So, but it's okay to be booed up. Just like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts been with his girlfriend since they Alabama days. How long Jalen Hurts been in the league? Anybody know? 2019, 2020, 21? I don't know. Let me know if you know. All right. Anybody that know when Jalen Hurts got drafted? Oh, no, he was at Alabama in 2019. I think it's 2019. No, he left in 2019. Somewhere in there. They've been together that long. And it's 2025. They just now getting married after he won the Super Bowl. And see, this is where you got to be teachable. You got to be coachable on and off the field. Because if you can look at these guys, like somebody like Jalen Hurts, who, when it came to how he spent his first NFL paycheck, he paid for his sister's education. He bought a modest house that was $300,000 at the time. He saved some money. He didn't go out and buy his parents a $3 million mansion. He fiscally responsible. That's somebody you want to learn from. And then when you coming into the league, and maybe you have a girlfriend that you went to college with. Jalen went to college with his girlfriend too. And guess what? They just not got married after he probably achieved a career goal of his, to get the Super Bowl. And the fact that he had been in a Super Bowl and didn't win and didn't get married yet, but got married shortly after the other one, goals, boundaries. I don't know the reason to rush and put a ring on somebody when your life is in flux. It just makes no sense. So be coachable, be teachable, learn from these guys who are doing it the right way, fiscally responsible, having boundaries and having goals and achieving goals before they bring somebody else into that. And then they're going to have to focus on the other person. Don't put a ring on nobody's finger because you don't want them to leave you and they're going to go with somebody else. Don't do that. They're going to do that anyway. So Jalen Hurts. So this is LeJohntay. Yes, he got a boo. He got a boo. I always see they content together and I just be filling it up with little hearts. That's me, in case somebody want to know. That's me. I'm always putting a little heart eyes on Travis's fishing video at Coach Prime. I know it's me smiling with 3 heart eyes. If you see it, that's me. What she said, sports with the, because I was happy to see him there. The more I see Travis around Coach Prime and talking great things about standing up for Shedeur, I feel like the more and more it is possible, that a different decision could be made, but not necessarily. It's probably, I have convinced myself it's gonna happen anyway. So whatever. And we have a member that actually lives in Chattanooga. And when he told me he was from Chattanooga, Jerry, I said, when he said, I'm in Chattanooga, I said, ooh, okay. Because if I find out where it is, I'm not going to be the one in the church, speak down, forever hold your peace. I'm going to just go try to get some outdoor content, like probably when they have the street blocked off or something like that, might get the roof or the steeple of the church or whatever the venue is that they get married at. So, Atlanta and Chattanooga are only 1 hour distance. So if I get the opportunity, I'm gonna bring us back some content, but I respect if that's what he want to do. I just keep him in my prayers. And I think the prayer I said for him, let me say it again. The prayer I said for him is, I pray God gives Travis eyes to see his truth and ears to hear his voice in Jesus' name, and give him the strength when God put it on his heart to walk away from this toxic relationship. Amen. Jesus' name. Amen. So let me just say it again. But God knows what we can't bear. So, if that's not something he could handle, if his whole life will crumble, then it ain't going to happen right now. He going to have to get on the other side of that wedding ring and have, the situation to be worse when it happens. But at least he himself probably will be okay. And ultimately, that's what we want. We want Travis to be okay. That's it. If when something happens, So it say, I really enjoy seeing Coach with old players. Everybody looks so happy. Right, Crowley. And I mean, he's just a coach, he's just a player's coach. And, seeing Jimmy like trying to line up, but he like, no, I'm going to line up against LeJohntay. Because he sees Jimmy more than I think they see LeJohntay. Like I said, LeJohntay was working out in Miami. But for Shedeur to go and be there with the guys, I thought that was really nice too. We said it. Coach Prime raised his sons right. And speaking of Bronny James, I think Bryce James is going to be better. Bronny actually scored a 17 career high points. He tied. He had scored 17 points before. He scored 17 points against the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. Now, the Lakers still lost. They were out there, all their stars. But he did really good. And Coach, is it JJ Redick, said that, he said that his confidence is coming on. He's becoming more and more confident. And I said, that tells you that it wasn't his basketball skills that was the issue. He was still coming off of a cardiac event, which he had to have a medical procedure to correct. So, I was happy for him. Because I do think with time, that is something that was going to always happen, honestly. It's just the fact that Stephen A. said he didn't watch him in the G League and he didn't watch him in high school. I'm like, so what you criticizing him on then? If you didn't watch him at USC in high school or the G League, like, what? It's because his last name. That's what it is. I'm sure there were people that mocked him because he went number 55 in the draft. But to me, that was a perfect place for him. And if they didn't have so many negative Nellies out there, where he is where he was going to always be, because he needed time to recover from something like that. I mean, people understand, cardiac events, whether you want to call it cardiac arrest or cardiac event, when that happened, people thought Bronny's career was over. And here he is. He just needed time to know that it probably wasn't going to happen again. And he needed that security to understand that before he's out here running up and down the court for 45 minutes. How long does it take to recover from cardiac arrest? I've been meaning to look that up. One moment. How long does it take to recover from a cardiac event? Let's see. So physically, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months. But emotionally and mentally, it can take a long time. Yeah. So you have to get back. It's like riding a bicycle. You're riding a bike, you hit a bump, you fall off. And then you have to get back on it because you got to get home. But you keep asking yourself, or at some point after it's a recent, it's going through your mind, is this going to happen again? And we weren't there. So we don't really know. We didn't see him. We don't know how he felt afterwards. The family kept him, at home in private, so people weren't meddling. But I always knew that's what it was. I mean, how could you not know that that's what it was? I mean, we watched him play in high school, just like I watched his brother play in the state high school championship. And who said that? Queen T. Honestly, there are people that think he isn't good. There are people that were saying that they watched the state championship, that they don't think Bryce is going to be good in the NBA either. He's playing at Arizona next year. I will be watching. Understand that. So if I watched him in high school and I watched his brother a little bit at USC, and I actually said I was going to start probably getting back to watching basketball now that, he's, kind of coming along. And kind of gotten over the event that happened. And even if somebody comes out and says that has nothing to do with it, I'm not convinced. I know that that's what it was, because you need time to emotionally get over that. That is traumatic. And none of us have been through it. Well, most of us probably haven't been through it. So we can't dismiss it because we don't know, so. But people have said the same thing about Bryce, and that's just people hating on LeBron. And again, why do people hate on LeBron so much if he hadn't done anything to anybody? He's just out here being a family man, being a husband, and being a father. And why they hate on him? I just don't get it. It makes no sense. So, it is what it is. All right. So, another tidbit about Bronny. Did y'all know that after Bronny got drafted, he generated his jersey, sold 500 Bronny James, this jersey he got on. They sold 500,000 of those jerseys right after he got drafted. You know how much money that is? I think I screenshot it. Let's see. I was like, I got to bring this up. Let's see. Following Bronny James' draft to the Los Angeles Lakers, over 500,000 of his jerseys have been sold, generating over $50 million in revenue for the franchise, not the league, the franchise, surpassing his own father, LeBron James' rookie jersey sales. His salary was $4 million guaranteed. They won. They won. Imagine if he would have had a contract or a clause in his what's his name? Michael Jordan. Remember Michael Jordan's mom suggested that he get XYZ percentage of the sale of something, at Nike. I don't know if it was his shoe or some sales of something. And that's why he's a billionaire now. This young man, if he had a clause in his contract, instead of just 4 million guaranteed, it could say 4 million guaranteed plus 10% of the gross annual sales, or the net. I take the gross annual sales of my jersey. That's $5 million every year that he is on that team. So he would have made $9 million this year. I'm shocked that they didn't have a clause that said that. And his jersey surpassed his dad's. I ain't mad. That's good business. I want one of his jerseys now. I'm like, they must be $100. I'm like, I want one of his jerseys now. That's crazy though. Like that's mad money right there. Like there is no way. There's no way I would never not have him on the team as long as he's making that kind of money. And I'm sure they had a conversation with LeBron, who definitely wanted his son to be on the team. And I'm gonna tell you why the team allowed it, whether what they thought about him or not. The jersey sales. LeBron knew what he brought to the table when Bronny became part of the deal. And the Lakers front office knew. They didn't think it would surpass LeBron, but they knew that jersey was going to make some money. $50 million? Y'all know how much money that is? That's $50 million. So congratulations to Bronny. Hopefully the trend of hating on these young Black athletes by so-called analysts, whether they Black or not, but the ones that are Black, shame on y'all. You letting the devil use your life for toilet paper. This is a young man. These kids are growing. So y'all need to chill out now. Chill out. Remember. Remember, hey, the people are on edge out here. So you need to chill out. Let's see. It says Don Staley. What is it? Let's see. I'm looking at the message. Hold on one second. It says Don Staley and her team won today. They beat the team by 60 points. I have a lot of respect for Coach Staley. I do too. And so does the rapper Plies. Plies got you know how the rappers like chains and stuff, right? With medallions on it. So he actually had a diamond covered trophy that they probably gonna win made and put it on like a beautiful necklace or whatever, and that was, he gifted that to her. And Plies always supports women, and it was nice. I thought that was a nice gesture. And today I saw them, South Carolina, in an ad. I can't remember who it was by. Under Armour. I think it was an Under Armour ad. It was really good. So I think they're gonna win again. What people have said is that Juju, I love Juju. She's excellent. Can't wait till she get to the next level. Hopefully at the time, Unrivaled is the only one that's out there. That's kind of what I want to happen. But and maybe another league will come along too, because there are other pro leagues, by the way. But she can't win it by herself. I don't know how much her supporting cast, how helpful her supporting cast is. In college, she seems to be able to, to get that done for the most part solo. But I don't see that at the college level. So we shall see. Queen T say, I agree. I forgot about his accident. Yep. Jalen Hurst has an all-female management team. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know who his agent is, but I didn't know that. Thank you for that, D. Johnson. That's good tidbit. That's good information. It said George Foreman passed away. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. That was actually my neighbor once upon a time. We went to close on a house, and when we were going in to close, he was coming out, and one of his sons, his youngest, actually went to Montessori school with my son. They were in the same class. Montessori goes to school 3 classes at once, so like 4, 5, 6, they were like in the same class. So I hate to hear that. I met his mom and his wife, Miss Mary. So I really hate to hear that. So I think they still live out there too. So how old he was? I saw his wife more. I didn't see him that much, but I did see his wife more so, with their son at school and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Jalen Hurts for that. Thank you for sharing that, Queen T. And Don Staley, yes, I do like Don Staley. Okay, so let's get to our next clue here. Let's see which one this is. All right, so y'all might guess this one. This one might be easy. Okay, so this one kind of piggybacks. I told y'all when I picked these, it's kind of relates to kind of what we're talking about. All right, so these are the letters. Can you see? ITP. Let's see. Can somebody type that into the chat for me? Just ITP. All right, so this is a clue. Now, it kind of relates to Coach Prime and should he, reveal the name of the quarterback coach that he found about that was disparaging and trying to defame Shedeur Sanders and tank his draft stock. And there will be people that are like, no, he shouldn't, yada, yada, yada. The man was anonymous for was anonymous for a reason. And then there will be people like me that says it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It needs to happen because. All right. Let's see if y'all can guess that. That one should be pretty easy. That should be. Yep. Thank you for typing that into the chat. Let's see if anybody gets this. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So let's see. We're going to go on to our next video. Let's see. So we already saw the newly engaged or the happy couple. We already saw Coach Prime. Okay, so this is my other video. All right, so y'all heard me talk about DJ McKinney before. Back when I think they had the Super Bowl, I think he was in New Orleans and it was his birthday. And I meant to say happy birthday to him. And I told y'all I kind of had like in draft mode some of like some content for him. So this is DJ McKinney, number 8 for Colorado. I didn't realize DJ McKinney only had 1 year with us at Colorado. In fact,
Let go.
he had been with us for, let me see if I turn it down. I'm thinking he had been with us for like 2 years. He made such an impact last year. He's only been with us for one year. So let's go over his stats. He was at Oklahoma State first. He played there in 2022 and 2023. And he came to Colorado last year in 2024. Now, he's currently a sophomore, but he's going to be a junior. And last year, when he first got there, when they were having summer, like practice in the summer, the scouts were visiting, right? And DJ McKinney was so impressive that people, I think Coach Prime said he made him some money that day. And that just was going to tell these guys, don't think that this practice is just for fun or just busy work or just something to do. Coach Prime always impresses upon the team that you practice like you play. And then when Derek McClendon came back and talked about how when Coach Prime asked Derek McClendon, who was on Zoom, he said, how do they practice? That was basically what he wanted to know. He said, how do they practice? He said, like a game. Tyreek Hill, the rest of the team, Tua, I think at the time, I think he's still there. So when DJ McKinney was at Oklahoma State, he had a total tackles were 38. Okay. Now, if you think he just came for the bright lights, understand this young man made him some money. At Colorado, he had 61. He almost doubled his production. And his solo tackles, 24 Oklahoma State in 20. So when I say Oklahoma State, I'm talking about 2023. When I say Colorado, I mean 2024. So that was his total tackles. Solo tackles out of 38, he had 24 at Oklahoma State. He had 43 at Colorado. Talk about an opportunity. Assist tackles, he had 14 Oklahoma State. He had 18 at Colorado. Pass deflections, he had 5 at Oklahoma State. He had 8 at Colorado. Forced fumble, he had 1 at Colorado. He didn't have any at Oklahoma State. He didn't have any interceptions at Oklahoma State. He had 3 at Colorado. He actually had a touchdown at Colorado as well. Never had a touchdown at Oklahoma State. So, that's what we're talking about. This young man, I put on the video that he's going to be he's already a 2026 draft prospect, just like Juju was the #1 player in the 2026 class in Georgia high school football. So I already knew in 2026 he was going to be the #1 person. This was in 2024. We can obviously tell you that DJ McKinney is already an NFL draft prospect for 2026. He will be drafted. We don't know where, but with playing like this and he has speed, we will see him at the combine. I will be shocked if he's not at the combine. I don't even think you could deny him. And if he puts speed with all of that, which I know he is, because I think that's what they were talking about. He has speed. You can't beat that. But this is something that I picked up on in the video that I want to say what I liked about him. Now, I want you to notice after he catches this ball, right? This is called awareness, in my opinion. Other people might call it something else, but you are aware if you play like this. Your sense of awareness is what makes you a playmaker. Check this out. Look at that. You saw how his upper body went further to the right, his hands. He set his hands to get the ball because he knew if he's in flight, his torso could step over the line. Come on now. That's experience. That's having done it a million times, playing outside in the yard. That's awareness. Oh, yes. That's the one where he did the little dog, the little hydrant, the little fire hydrant. Yeah. But it's just the awareness for me. If I'm a scout looking at this, look at this. His hands went more to the right, but his body stayed central, so he don't step out of bounds. That is a playmaker. And this is ball control. Y'all see he still got the ball? Did you see him flip over somebody? And he still has the ball. So you put his production together just as CU alone. You put it with his speed. And then you multiply that times his awareness and his ball control. This kid should be able to be a first-round draft pick. In 2026, we shall see. And, I expect only good things from him as a result of, putting it all together and looking at everything together. So I put 2026 NFL draft pick DJ McKinney because I don't see how he don't get drafted. And I personally think he got to be a first-round draft pick. If he run like a 4.3, 4.4, he in there. Now, I noticed when it comes to cornerbacks, I think Travis will probably be the first cornerback off the board, meaning he's going 4th. But I don't know how long before another cornerback goes in this draft. I would have to actually go do look at some historical data and see the average round and positioning that the cornerbacks go. For instance, the reason why I say that is, Aston Genty was a Heisman candidate, right? He's not even projected to go in the top 10 because, as people have said, this is like a edge rusher, a lineman draft. It's just that the QBs are going so many, probably 3 in the first round. The 3 are, y'all should know because I done said it so many times, pop quiz, Shedeur Sanders. And again, you can alternate Shedeur and Cam, but number 1 and number 2, it don't really matter. And Jalen Milroe running a 4.3 unofficial and a 4.4 or 4.45 officially, first round. So, and if they drop him to the second, that's a travesty. That young man's pro day was great. And his speed. And he's another Lamar Jackson. I don't know. Lamar Jackson didn't do the 40, I don't think, in his combine. But a 4.3 unofficial, I'll take it. I actually, if you go to What She Said Sports on IG, you'll see where I actually posted. I made a video, showing that he did a 4.3, 4.4, and a 4.45. And I said, and this is exactly what the caption was: 4.37, 4.44, or 4.45. Jalen Milroe, first round draft pick. You know how they say it with so-and-so, Lakers in 5? I was doing the same thing. Saying that this young man is a first round draft pick. Let's quit this foolishness out. And if we really want to win, he's a first round draft pick. If he's not a first round draft pick, they don't want to win. They just want to play. So DJ McKinney is that guy, excellent ball control, great speed, awareness, production, everything. So that was pretty much it when it came to DJ McKinney. I'm probably going to put this on Instagram. If you watch the shorts on What She Said shorts, it's already out there. Some people that watch videos and lives don't watch shorts, so it's like 3 different audiences. So I try to satisfy, try to make sure it's in multiple places. Because if you watch the video, you might not watch the live, but then you might be on Instagram. So hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Okay, so that was that. I think that was everything I wanted to talk about today. So let's see. Oh, Peter said that pick 6 in end zone celebration with DJ McKinney was legendary. Yes, that's when he did his little fire hydrant. That's what I call it. He got down there like a little pup and raised his leg to symbol, he was blessing the fire hydrant. I don't know if we're going to see that again. I saw a picture of it somewhere, but I don't know if we're going to see it again in the regular season. Okay, so did anybody guess the clue that we were essentially putting together? Okay, so let's see. We've been here an hour. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up. So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, if you haven't guessed it, one more time. This is what you say when somebody will basically tell you, oh, you don't need to do that, or don't worry about it, or Coach Prime doesn't need to reveal the name of the quarterback coach that defamed Shedeur, or he doesn't need to meet with him. He should just let it go. This is what you say. The answer is no, it's the principle. You know how you hear people say it's the principle of the matter? That's what it is. So he has to do it. He's his father. It's the principle of allowing somebody to disparage your kids. Not very many parents are going to be okay with that. And the only reason why a parent wouldn't say anything is if they want something from the entity that is disparaging them. See, when you are wealthy, and obviously the Sanders family is wealthy, you have options. I think with some people, it's not that they don't have options. They're just afraid. They believe that it could cost them something being drafted. Do we really feel like that would be the case? I tell you what, if they didn't draft them, the UFL would get the newest member, and everybody will be that we know will be watching that. Because I know that will, but I know that that's not going to happen, So, but there are people in that could possibly have been in Shedeur's situation, but they would be reluctant to say or speak up because they feel like they would lose something, and this means so much. Not the experience of playing football, the money that's attached to it. That generational wealth. That should be generational wealth. Too many people go broke to say it's generational wealth. I guess it's all about how you handle it. So I guess that's it for tonight, guys. I think I went over everybody's comments. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Make sure you hit the like button for me. It means a lot to YouTube and to me. And y'all actually do a really good job. Our Don't Be Stingy with the Like Button song. Take us out of here. All right.
Yeah, welcome family, survive. Break it down, talking sports, hard and hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button. Come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. From hoops to the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every win. What she said, let's meet where the passion begins. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes. Together we rose, reaching higher and higher. Welcome aboard, let's make it loud. What she saying, with her eyes on proud.